Perhaps, I don't know who needs to hear this, but there is no shame in buying from the value range. I know sometimes people can feel a bit embarrassed about buying from the value range and be worried like, oh, what would people think if they see you pick on the value range stuff? Or if people come around to your house, what would people think if they see you got the value range stuff? But there is no shame in buying from the value range. And look, sometimes you just gotta, right? I mean, even if you could afford the regular branded stuff, it might even be a better choice to buy from the value range anyway. But certainly for people who are, don't have so much money, people who maybe aren't so affluent, right? You just gotta do what you gotta do. I was talking in another video about looking at ways in which you can cut down on spending and then using that money to save, using that money to put into a savings account. And this is one of those ways for a lot of people, is to, rather than buying the branded baked beans, you buy the value range baked beans, you know what I mean? Things like that. And it just means you could put a little extra money into a savings account or into an ISA or maybe even stocks. You can invest it in something that could help to improve your situation. So for people who don't have a lot of money, you got to respect the fact that you don't have a lot of money and try to make decisions and choices that improve your standing in the years to come, or at least try to make steps in that direction. And this is one of those ways you could do that, And also when you look at the ingredients and the nutritional information when it comes to, say, value range stuff compared to branded stuff, oftentimes the difference is very negligible. Like there is very, very little difference at all between the two. In fact, in some cases, the value range stuff has a higher nutritional value in terms of, say, having less fat, less sugar, less salt, but maybe more protein, things like that. So like nutritionally, you're not losing out. Now, of course, it's not just about the nutrition. I get it. The branded stuff is most likely going to taste better. It is what it is. I get it. The branded stuff is going to taste better because it's not just about, it's got tomatoes in it or it's got whatever in it. It's how those tomatoes were grown. It's how those tomatoes were prepared. There's a lot of reasons that go into the final taste of a product that warrants why it costs more than, the value range stuff or even other stuff, right? So I get it. It's not just about the nutritional stuff. And that could mean that, if you're buying a value range things, you might be buying something that doesn't necessarily taste as good. And I also say that all value range stuff doesn't taste as good, because that's not true. There's plenty of value range stuff that tastes, in my opinion, at least better than some of the regular stuff. So you got to make a choice. And either way, you got to choose a struggle. So you have to decide whether the taste of something is worth you not having as much money and not being able to maybe look at investments and improving your financial standing as well as you could. If the taste of something is worth you be in that situation, then by all means, go ahead, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're deciding that actually I can put up with something that maybe doesn't taste as good for a while and then use that money to improve my financial situation, and then maybe in the future at some point I'll be able to buy all the regular stuff I want, all the branded stuff I want, maybe. That's maybe. But either way, you choose a struggle. But in my opinion, ain't no shame in buying from the value range. And like I said, whether you could afford the branded stuff or not, sometimes the value range stuff is just a better choice. But anyway, I've rambled long enough. Peace.